The Nadu midrange combo, Bant Nadu, whatever, is sort of a tempo deck, but is mostly a combo deck, where they're attempting to, as fast as possible, get Nadu Winged Wisdom on the battlefield and a way to target it a whole bunch of times, preferably infinite times. They have a bunch of ways to do that, which some of them they can tutor up with Green Sun Zenith. They can protect that combo with Force of Will, which Vexing Bubble being gone is pretty nice. And the idea is you can draw out your entire deck, get a ton of creatures, give big old Bristly Bill, whatever, and win the game. The third most popular deck is that deck that I talked about that isn't new to the scene, but is new to returning to the scene, capitalizing on very, very small creatures like Dragon Rage Channeler, Delver of Secrets, and cheap large creatures like Murktide Regent, alongside a ton of counter magic and draw spells and removal to be the new premier tempo deck of the format in the absence of Psychic Frog. The second most popular deck is the Eldrazi deck. Now, what this deck is attempting to do is using these Ancient Tomb style lands in Eldrazi Temple, in actual Ancient Tomb. Eye of Ugin sort of becomes one of those lands to play Eldrazi really, really early. Use Glaring Fleshraker to make it so pretty much every spell that you cast deals damage and ramps even more mana. They destroy their opponent's lands with Sowing Mica Spawn. It just has all of these super, super valuable Eldrazi spells to just then attack with creatures that are bigger than they should be for their mana cost. And then the most popular deck is the mono-red Stompy deck. This deck is another Ancient Tomb deck that is getting stuff out pretty quickly, but not Eldrazi. These are mostly really aggressive red creatures, things like Fable the Mirrorbreaker, turn 2 or sometimes turn 1 Blood Moon, the One Ring, and then they also have a Karn board to capitalize on all of that. And it's just a really, really hard to deal with deck that is employing a similar strategy as Eldrazi, but just like better and more aggressive creatures.